This is how I made over $1.5 million in only the first 2 months of 2023. My name is Inayah and I'm an Airbnb host and Airbnb coach. When I was 19, I dropped out of college to really decide to go all in on entrepreneurship. After doing a little bit of research, I decided I wanted to become an Airbnb host through rental arbitrage. I got my very first listing up in May of 2021, and from there it skyrocketed. After I started seeing a lot of success with Airbnb, a lot of people started asking me how I was able to do it at such a young age. At the beginning of last year, I was trying to find other Airbnb hosts that were doing what I was doing, so I got involved in some different Facebook groups and started posting a little bit about my success as an Airbnb host. Once I started posting, a lot of people started reaching out to me and asking for help and asking me if I could help them get started in Airbnb as well. At first, I was spending so much time responding to people and trying to get them all the information. I would sit in the DMs all day responding to all these different people, giving them the different steps for how they could get started. In like early March of 2022, I realized that if I kept spending all my time trying to help all these different people, eventually it was going to burn me out. So I had to figure out how to create a product where I could help more people at once without trading so much of my time doing it. About 8 months ago, in June of 2022, I started an Airbnb coaching business. I started off by making a $50 course using Canva and just making different slides, giving people all the different steps that I took to become an Airbnb host. I realized that a lot of people needed more than just slides with a step-by-step on how to get started in words. They also needed videos, screen recordings, and actual teaching of how to get started. Eventually, I decided to create an LLC and actually create a company for this coaching business so I could scale it even further. I went all in on the equipment that I needed. I bought a camera, tripod, lights. I bought all the filming equipment I needed. I then started researching different sites that I could actually host my course or my teaching on. I started reading different books on how to form an offer and how to coach other people. That way they can get from their starting place to their end goal. After the course was fully finished, I still had a lot of students wanting more, so I decided now it's time for me to expand this coaching business. My coaching business now has a team of over 15 people where we have tons of different offers for students, from our course to a free class to done for you and done with you offers. Not only do I teach students how to actually get started in Airbnb, but now I also help them by finding and securing units for them, doing their websites for them, and even doing some of the research and looking up cities and finding out what the regulations and licenses are that they would need to do Airbnb there. If you're interested in learning more about Airbnb, I actually have a free live class this Sunday. You can sign up with the link in the description. From the Airbnbs that I rent and now own, and then also from this coaching business, in the last 2 months, I generated over $1.5 million. This number didn't come easily. Not only did I have to actually build up my Airbnb business, but then I had to build up my coaching business to have solid revenue coming in. If there was one thing that I can say I've learned since the 1.5 years since I kind of began Airbnb and then started coaching, it would be that you can really do anything you set your mind to. It's essential that you guys know how important finding a solid skill set is and something that you're good at, because not only can that help you in your life, but when you share that with others, that can actually become another source of income. Monetizing a skill set is actually a lot easier than you think. Once you start sharing about it, people automatically want to learn from you. For me, after I started my coaching business, I made $100,000 in the very first month that I started. From there, the numbers just continue to increase. As 2023 is beginning, these first 2 months, I have already generated over $1.5 million. I made about $800,000 in January, and right now, February is at its end, and I'm at $750,000 for the month. To make $1.5 million, there were definitely a lot of expenses that had to go out on the back end. Even as an entrepreneur, I think a lot of the time when entrepreneurs talk about how much money they made, people see that number and that's all they see, but they don't really see everything that comes with being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. Now, yes, as an entrepreneur in the last 2 months, I did make over $1.5 million, but there were a lot of expenses that came with that. In the last 2 months alone, I spent over $300,000 on ads. And not just ads, but I have an entire team who helps me with my coaching business, and those are all people that I have to pay for their help. Depending how big your team is or how much each of them make, the amount that you actually pay out in salaries alone could be a pretty decent amount of money. In the last 2 months, I'd say I've easily spent over $100,000 just in salaries that I'm paying. Just those 2 expenses in the last 2 months is about $400,000, bringing my revenue from $1.5 million to about $1.1 in profits. I'm not giving you these numbers to brag. I'm giving you these numbers to motivate you and to tell you that you can do it too. Still, I understand that making over $1 million at just 20 years old in only 2 months is still a lot of money, but there's a lot of work that goes into maintaining that income. To build a business that has a strong foundation yet still continues to bring in money every single month, it's really important that you know, number one, you have to outsource work and get the help that you need. You have to take risks and go for what you think is going to work and try new things. This is really where that belief in yourself and that investing in yourself comes from. And finally, you have to believe in yourself and really put in the work every single day, because the work isn't just going to happen on its own. I want you guys to understand that I'm not special in the sense that I could do this and you can't. Of course, I'm special in my own way. You're special in your own way. We're all special in our own ways, and that's what allows us to do different things. But if I am capable of doing this, I promise you are too. Whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that you want to do, or whatever dream it is that you have, take that chance on yourself and it might change your life. If you got value out of this video, make sure that you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with my newest content.